All right, we're back as promised, and this time we're working on ideas of breaking the grip. So if the guy has particularly a good defensive posture from the supine position, we're trying to get the break of the arm. These are some things that we can do to try to break that grip. So last video we worked on breaking the guy down to a hip. If he stands up, now we're gonna actually talk about breaking the grip and going for the finish. So my partner Sway will jump into the supine position, and I have the armbar locked in. The first one we'll work on is really basic, so I'll give you a few. The first one is, in the event that he decides to go to a basic palm-to-palm grip, this is one of the easiest ones to deal with. We're always 45 degrees, so we're always 45. We have various different grips that we tend to use to make sure that the guy can't turn out on us or sit up. Either way, whatever you decide to do with your controlling arm, your right arm in this case, that's fine. But once we decide that we've controlled the guy, we're gonna sit up to a seated position, and we're gonna start to break this guy's arm down. And the number one goal is elbow to elbow control and keeping his elbow in the pit of my chest. This is the number one key. Now this is great for control. When Sway goes to move his arms side to side and get his elbow out, it's pretty hard to do. But the issue here is if I pull with all of my might, I'll never break that grip. It'll hurt his forearm, it'll hurt mine, but it'll never actually break the grip itself. So what we'll do is, what we always do, is we misalign the elbow, meaning we pull his elbow to either armpit. So this is a detail that needs to be talked about. If you notice that his hand, his knuckles are facing towards his head, we're gonna pull the arm this way. If his grip is reversed, we're gonna be pulling the arm this way, more like a Kimura lock. So in this case, let's say Sway's hand, his knuckles are facing towards his head. We'll pull his elbow in the opposite direction under our armpit, and we use an uppercut grip on his wrist. From here, it's all about getting my elbow over that mountain of a leg, that left knee, and now from here, he's already in a compromised position. From me leaning, I can easily break the grip, go to a 2-on-1 control, raise my fulcrum, and get my break from there. So one more time on that concept. Elbow to elbow is a phenomenal controlling position. Breaking grips though, very low percentage. So what do? We misdirect the arm. We get his elbow under our armpit, and we uppercut his wrist. From here, our elbow passes over the quadricep knee area, and we break the grip. As soon as we break the grip, we always go 2-on-1 on the wrist, and we break the arm either here, or we go to an exaggerated fulcrum. We raise our heel as high as possible. We break the arm there. That's from a palm-to-palm grip where his knuckles are facing his head. What about if they're facing the other way? It's the exact same thing. We misdirect his elbow in the opposite direction. We uppercut with the opposite arm. Elbow passes the quad, and it's a lot of the same. 2-on-1, raise the fulcrum, and you get the break. So that's what we do typically if the guy's in a palm-to-palm position. So it's pretty basic, right? Let's go to a more extreme scenario. If the guy grabs his bicep and he scoops under my hamstring, arguably one of the best defenses someone can use, right? He grabs my hamstring and he keeps a good short wedge here. It's impossible to break his actual grip from this position. And he's really not far from being able to get my leg off his head or to sit up into me. They're both good options. So what we start to do whenever we see this kind of control is we start to lean off in one direction, hook the leg, and I watch how I use my calf on his tricep to push on his tricep. So I push, I lock, and then I kick my left calf behind his elbow. As soon as I do that, I back heel. I back heel, and I get my elbow close to his wrist. From here, I work my feet, if possible, to a 3/4 senkaku over the shoulder. And then from here, we can always switch to a 2-on-1 on the wrist with a raised fulcrum, naturally raised because of the nature of the leg configuration. And we get a break. Very simple. Once again, Danny, you think you should close that door? Thanks, buddy. If the guy grabs the bicep and hooks under the hamstring, we lay off on a 45-degree angle every time. You understand the difference? If he shortens the wedge this severely, we lean off immediately. We don't wait and try to play this game. He's gonna escape. We lean off, we hook the leg or the toes, and we start to back heel with the bottom leg. This holds his arm in position. We back heel with the top leg, we back heel with both legs, and we kick and extend. So now even if he were to try to grab his own wrist, it'll never happen. There's too much space between his hands. We start to work our heels over the shoulder, and we cross our feet, sit up, and we get a beautiful 2-on-1 break. So one more time, just to review those concepts. If you palm to palm, let's use this one as an example. We always misdirect the elbow. We attack the small muscles in the shoulder. He's extremely vulnerable here, and we can get our breaks from here. If he goes to the most severe defense, which is bicep and under the leg, we sit off on a 45-degree angle, we stay here. Back heel, keep that extension so we can get to a 3/4 senkaku, and we get the break from the 3/4 armbar position. So that's what we're talking about. We're talking about the 3/4 armbar from the side control position. If he's palm to palm, we always misdirect the elbow to attack the small muscles. If he goes to a closed wedge with a hook on the hamstring, we utilize a back heeling action on the elbow, which creates this loosening effect on the arms. So that's what we're doing, guys. Make sure you guys subscribe, and we'll be back with more videos during this coronavirus situation. Stay healthy.